What's going on, everybody? It's your man Jeff, Philly Freck 215.
Yo, man, Pastor Carl Day, at Pastor Carl Day, only podcaster and pastor, sports podcaster and pastor in America, man.
Back again. What's this week?
Week 8.
Week 8. Yeah, week 8.
Looking at week 9.
Week 8 recap. You know what I mean, coming up on week 9. Basically, half the season done. Home stretch, team stretch, getting ready for the playoff chase. Trying to position themselves, This is when we start to see, some of the best football games. Teams finally hit their stride and, teams know who they are, know their strengths, know their weaknesses and stuff like that. So, not much more you can hide now, you know what I'm saying? Just, like I said, everybody fighting for the playoff position, especially in around the league, period. Because not too many people everybody within 2 to 3 games within each other anyway. So, you know what I mean? So, looking forward to this stretch, man. See how this thing turn out. But, recap, 3 up, 3 down, both teams, Eagles and Birds. Eagles and Cowboys. I'm sorry, Eagles and Birds. You pulled out victories this week, you know what I'm saying? So,
I thought you was calling. I thought we was gonna do the Falcons this week.
They won too. They won too. I think they won. Pulled it out. A lot of rain on the East Coast. So it was a lot of sloppy football. But you know what I'm saying. All that matters is them wins. But 3 up. You can start it off. Yeah, go ahead. Start off with your ups with y'all. What was y'all game? 33-19, I think it was. Y'all.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And shout out to my prediction, man. I said 31-20.
Yeah,
31-20. So it was kind of close. Mm-hmm. I'll say the three ups. First and foremost, gotta give credit to Zeke. Zeke did his thing, man. Mm-hmm. Really grounded the game out, man. In a rainy game, just played what you really would expect from your back. Really was punishing the defense out there, man. He really was doing a great job, man. Maintaining drives, finding the blockers in the lane. So Zeke really was kind of just being Zeke, man. I can't even really articulate that too much. Secondly, I'll give it to the offensive line. Again, offensive line put another good week together. Started off with some, a few penalties here and there, man. I think it was really some bad calls on a few plays. A couple plays, it was some holding. You know what I'm saying? Jason Witten's play was a hold. It was unnecessary hold. The one with Tyron Smith was just ridiculously brutal when they took the touchdown back.
Right.
That was just crap. And you don't call that on the best tackle or top 2 tackle, however you decide to look at it in football. But nevertheless, the offensive line, man, did a great job. Even with, protecting the quarterback for the most part. I mean, Kerrigan got back there a couple times. That's Ryan Kerrigan. He does what he do. But for the most part of it, man, the offensive line really, really are gelling multiple weeks. And I think the bye week really helped them, helped Tyron gets to get a break. The communication, Jonathan Cooper there is starting to really come into his own there, I guess. It just looked like he's feeling confident. You know what I'm saying? Like, ability wasn't the problem for the guy. I just don't know what he was doing. He was injured, too, a lot early in his career. But nevertheless, offensive line did a good job. I'll also say, it was tough, though, man, keeping some people out. You know what I'm saying? I think Dak Prescott played a really good game considering that, he was throwing a wet ball, was really efficient, you know what I'm saying, made plays when needed to. But, he couldn't make my 3 up this time around because I wanted to credit that Cowboys defensive line. You know what I'm saying? So the defensive line's a unit because David Irving is coming back, man. I mean, since he's been back, man, he didn't had a sack in every game. He's been in 2 games with multiple sacks. Dude has just been a beast. And DeMarcus Lawrence, another sack, making big plays again, you know what I'm saying, forcing a fumble and whatnot. Tyrone Crawford got back there. Very disruptive up front, man. So shout out to them too. And quite frankly, man, that's my 3 up.
Yeah. On to the Birds. Start off with Vinny Curry, man. Finally got a sack. You know what I mean? He's been coming close the last couple of weeks. And this could never finish the plays, but he's been great against the run all year. And that's, that was one of the knocks people had against him coming into the year, but he's been really, really good, like very good against the run. And like I said, he finally finished with a sack this week. I guess he, felt the competition. We brought in Chris Long, brought in Barnett. So I guess that just made him rise his play up a little bit, whatever the case may be. But I always thought he had it in him, to beat his player. He just never got the snaps, or he was hurt, but he's finally playing some great football, man. And one of the keys to the us being one of the top teams versus the run game this year. Also, number 2, Michael Kendricks. Looking like the Kendricks from 2014 when he was going to be a star, man. Couple plays stood out, like his coverage ability. He was lined up on a running back and went with him. Normally he gets beat on them little angle routes, but he covered the dude step for step, knocked the ball down. It was a clean play, and that was always one of his knocks, coverage wise. But he's really in a zone right now, and he's really playing his best football, really, for real. And that's why when I said when Hicks went down, it was a big loss, but I don't think it would be that major, because the way he's playing, Bradham as well, Bradham playing well too, but Kendricks is one of the most athletic linebackers in the NFL. Just his talent alone, his speed, closing in on the ball, everything is he's finally putting it all together, and I'm just so happy we didn't let him go. You know what I mean? We held on to him because he had asked for a trade in the offseason, but so happy we held on to him. The real key, he's going to be key down the stretch for us, you know what I'm saying, making this playoff push. Number 3, Jalen Mills, won Defensive Player of the Week, had the pick 6, had 3 tackles, had a pass deflection. He's finally coming, I think he's getting comfortable in his defense. We say it a lot, sometimes when people say it, we always talk about the quarterback. He's getting comfortable in the offense and all that. But that could be said, for corners or defensive players as well. Last 7th round pick, he was in and out the lineup last year, behind Carroll and McKelvin. So he wasn't getting the consistent snaps. Now he is. And you just seeing him more confident in his abilities and knowing, also, he got 2 great safeties playing on top of him, so he don't have to worry about too much. But still, he still got to make plays. And he's been very, very good against the run. Very good. Coming up, stuffing running backs. That's an improvement he made. Because last year, we played Seattle. He had missed his gap, and C.J. Prosise took it 70 yards. But he's been really good against the run, man. And one of the best tackling corners in the league. But, yeah, man, like I said, he's finally coming around coverage-wise. He's not getting beat as much as he was early in the year. Not as many penalties the last couple of weeks. So, like I said, he's playing real good football and playing real confident out there. And, once you get your confidence, man, anything can go. So, and he's really been holding us down because we lost Darby for a little bit. And he stepped into that number 1 corner role. Been doing a damn good job. And, we got some decisions to make. The first time in a long time, we got some talent, some young talent at corner. So it's going to be interesting to see how this play out, who's going to be getting the playing time, how they going to mix and match. But, it's a good problem to have, though, so I ain't sweating it. But, yeah, man, Vinny Curry, Michael Kendricks, Jalen Mills, man, that was my 3 ups.
That's what's up, man. And take over the start off with your 3 down.
3 down, first one, Lane Johnson, man. Started off sluggish. I don't know if he was one of the fans was okay, they 0-7, you know what I'm saying? They not really going to pose a threat, but early on he got beat by Dumerville. He was late off the snap count. That's one thing. He's normally not he's normally on point with that. Had a false start penalty too as well right before that. Like I said, he was just out of sync Sunday. I don't know what was going on with him. They were sending some delayed blitzes. I know they said we didn't see him on film and all that, but you one of the best tackles in the league. You should at least be able to pick out one man. He let 2 guys go on his side, and I didn't want to just say the whole offensive line, because some guys played well, you know what I mean. But Lane, he had some issues. Like I said, he cleaned it up in the second half as we started to get rolling. But starting out, yeah, he was a little. I don't know what was up with him. Like I said, maybe he thought they just did the Niners. They not gonna pose but they got one of the top young fronts in the league though. They got some talent out there, so you can't take them lightly. Number 2, I got Steven Wisniewski, left guard. They was also running stunts on his side, and multiple times, I don't know what he was doing, man. He was also, that's what were you thinking too. First quarter when Wentz kind of outshine, he couldn't step into his throw because Wiz had, was blocking Solomon Thomas, but for some reason he let him go and went to double team with Big V. I don't know, maybe he was okay, let me help the guy, help me help the guy out on his first start on the left side or what. But that's Solomon Thomas, man. You got your quarterback back there. You should never let him go. And he hit Wentz and kind of affected the throw a little bit. And he did that. He was doing that all game, like just letting he's blocking, then he just let the dude come through. So I don't know what was going on there. Like I said, maybe they was confused about the stunts, but you should never let a defensive lineman go. Like
free guy.
Yeah,
like free lanes your quarterback.
Especially up the middle. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know what he was thinking about, man. That's another one. And then my third down, LeGarrette Blount. All around game, like pass blocking wise, he let some safeties get through, some linebackers get through. Like his pass protection, this stinks. I mean, and you would think such a big dude like him, you know what I'm saying, he'd be able to keep the guys away from Wentz, but he's always a tad slow picking up who's coming. Then when he do, he like give like a half effort, or he try to like throw his shoulder, so like he don't actually try to engage with his man. And then the run game, it was some holes there available, but he just didn't seem like he had the juice to get to the hole. Like he was kind of slow. Then he was going down with a lot of arm tackles Sunday, so I don't know what was up, you know what I mean, with him, or is he got an injury or whatever, but he just didn't look like the same Blount we seen against the Giants and the Chargers. And this is all around bad game. Some of the other running backs too, Clement had some troubles, blitz picking up too, but more so Blount because he was a starter. He was out there more. But yeah, man, Lane Johnson, Stephen Wisniewski, and LeGarrette Blount. Those are my 3 downs, man.
Got you. Good points, man. First down, I would say for the Cowboys, Anthony Brown. I think that the defense really did a solid job. Out there playing against Kirk Cousins, a team that was really trying to fight their way to another win after losing the divisional game. And they came out throwing. Made it early, made their intentions known, who they were trying to go to early. And I mean, Anthony Brown got beat bad on a play, where he gave up that 42-yard pass. Part of the culprit as well was Jeff Heath just not being able to get there either to give any kind of help.
Man, your man saved the touchdown though, man. He stopped the touchdown.
Man, listen, he actually should have got there sooner. Truth be told, he had the vantage point to see it. Had there been a better safety there, cough, Xavier Woods, he would have closed in on that ball a lot better. But nevertheless, like I said, it wasn't too many players that actually played bad defensively because the Cowboys defense really, really controlled that game for majority of the game. Like, I mean, I'll definitely, but if I got to choose people who, that were probably, down players, Anthony Brown would be one. He gave a couple plays up out there, man. It seems like he's been the guy, and it's always it's going to be always that person in the secondary that teams are going to choose to go after. Like it has to, you know what I'm saying? It has to be somebody, and I think that Jordan Lewis has been doing a really good job, man, of manning his side of the field. Byron Jones is another person who was going to potentially be my 3-up. Like he's not getting enough credit for what he's doing, and I'll get into him later. But Anthony Brown was a guy that gave up plays. Also. For my down, I'm actually going to go Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith made a very athletic play, very good play, but still multiple times, man. I just see him, and I feel like it's mental, and I feel like some of it is him still trying to fully grasp everything and get everything back, but. Couple times, man, he took some bad angles, on a few plays out there. Granted, I know the field's wet too, so that that's probably even more anxiety for him because I can just imagine the injury he took on, and I don't think people are giving him enough credit, for him coming back and playing this game because like the injury he had. I just know every time he's probably making a certain cut or having to make a certain tackle or take on a certain hit, it's like, just a sudden pause, you know what I'm saying? So like sometimes he's too timid out there, and I think he's overthinking. But I mean, the almost interception he had was like a crazy play, just showing you his instincts. But overall, I don't really think he had a good game. When you watch the film, it was just like, all right, Jalen, that was bad. You know what I'm saying? So Jalen Smith would be on my list as well. And this will probably be my first time. Jeff, you did it in the Carolina game, but I'm actually going to put the referees on my 3 down. The referees were pitiful in that Cowboys game, even all the way down to the play where they called that pass interference on Anthony Brown. They gave Doxson. And Doxson pulled him, and they both, you know what I'm saying? It was just, that was pitiful. And you just gave the Redskins a touchdown, which
Right.
even made it look closer than what the game really was. And it was just so many penalties that was just egregious. You know what I'm saying? Where the Redskins set picks, they missed so many holds with that Redskins offensive line. The Cowboys started to whip them later on in the game, but earlier on, the Skins got away with so many holds, but yet you call holding on some of the elite offensive linemen, offensive line players. So it was just like, it was ridiculous. The disparity between the calls and how they just deliberately just kept the Redskins in the game, because like the Redskins were super one-dimensional in a game in which you can't be one-dimensional in when it's pouring down raining. So they were throwing the ball. They really had no shot. And it was just like this game stayed close because of those referees. So like those are my three down, though. Anthony Brown, Jalen Smith, because I really couldn't give any downsides really to the offensive players, because I think the offense really played a really solid game, and didn't turn the ball over everything else. But, I would definitely say that those are my three down. Yeah,
I noticed and Smith seemed like his snaps is going down every week.
Hitchens came back. So Damian Wilson's a starter. Hitchens really starts because that's what they wanted to do anyway. So Jalen Smith wasn't supposed to be the starter. He was supposed to get worked in. You see what I'm saying?
When they with the injuries,
when Hitch went out, he had to start. So it was like that was another thing too with him early. He had too many snaps. So now that's what they're trying to do is limit the snaps. But it's like, again, even when you watch it, certain plays, you just see him take like a horrible angle. You know what I'm saying? So,
maybe with time, you know what I'm saying, get better. But, he good blitzing, though. He can blitz. That's one of his strengths. Which
the coordinator should probably, more so design him for.
Right.
Let him build confidence by doing what he can do. In the meantime, he's going to have to work himself back in mentally, though.
Right, yeah, because that, like I said, with the weather, it was just a sloppy game, man. It was just sometimes horrible to watch, you know what I mean? But it like messed with the flow of the game. But it was the same in our game. It was sloppy play on both sides as well too. But what we got next? And what was you thinking?
What was you thinking, Mo?
Yeah, I touched on mine earlier when I was doing my three down. Like I said, Wisniewski was blocking Solomon Thomas and just let him get a free run right at your franchise quarterback, man. Like, I don't understand that part, like what was going on in your mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't never want pressure up the middle. So if you got a guy, you're blocking him, just hold on to your block. If something comes from the outside, we got the kind of quarterback maybe that can, slide, shift, get away from it. But right up the middle, that's kind of hard, man. But yeah, you never let a guy go when you blocking the defensive lineman, you're engaged, and just like move this slide right over and just let him get a free run at your quarterback. I watched that play like 6 times. I'm like, yo, what in the world was you thinking on that one? But yeah, man, Stephen Wisniewski, man.
Man, goodness. I don't even know where to start. I mean, truth be told, the Cowboys, like I said, the Cowboys didn't play a bad game, but it was just multiple plays where I'm just like, yo, what was you thinking? Like, one, I'll say the first field goal attempt. You know what I'm saying? So here it is, you asking the kicker you just brought in, Nugent, who didn't kick in like over a year, to attempt a 50-yard field goal. You know what I'm saying? Where you potentially could have just punted, played field position, and just gave Redskins the ball at the back end of their territory, or just potentially went for it. You know what I'm saying? So instead, you opt to try to kick the field goal. He misses horribly, and now you give the Redskins a short field. That was a what was you thinking moment for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, definitely what was you thinking moment for me. Especially knowing that the Redskins didn't have everybody on the offensive line and you could have taken advantage of that anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I really thought that was a poor decision. I'll also say, and I just wanted to drop these two in here, and two basically both on Ryan Switzer. When he opted not to field the punt, where the punt like rolled all the way down in our territory, that was one. And then the one where they like kind of like set up for lined up for an onside kick but didn't, and kicked it back there, and he kneeled at like the 16. It was like, yo, what are you doing? So yo, Switzer got 2 plays, and I mean, I didn't see enough reported on what was that about, or what was anybody else's measure of conversation that took place afterwards. But I need to see something more from this coaching staff. Like Garrett got to stop being a politician, and I got to start seeing these dudes get like checked about this, because it's like, what the heck was you doing just now?
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
Like you fumbled a punt earlier, and you really kind of was like arrogant in that before, and it's like then like you just go ahead and you just kind of do what you want to do back there. Now I'm not sure if when he didn't feel the punt, if he probably was a little uncomfortable, like the ball's probably wet, heavy, it's harder, and in that case he didn't want to kind of fumble that chance away. So maybe that's what he did there. But for you to kneel on a kick
you gotta be
return,
smarter than that,
like
man.
at the 16, that was just like dog, that was dumb. You might as well just let it bounce on in the end zone or something like that. Like it made no sense. So those was like my what was you doing moment. You know what I'm saying? Turning point of the game, Jeff, for you.
Jalen Mills pick 6. I wanted to say that I went with that one, but I was kind of tossing up back and forth between that play and the touchdown pass to Alshon Jeffrey, when they kind of had got when Wentz threw the pick, and I'm about to say Skins. The Niners scored, made it 20-7, but we got the ball right back and went to Alshon for the touchdown. But I think that Jalen Mills pick 6 gave the defense like, okay, look, man, we're not letting them do anything on us now. Like, and that just energized the building, because it was like like Monday night against the Skins, kind of started off slow. Building was kind of like, the stadium was kind of like no energy. But once that happened, the crowd got hyped. The defense played well all game, but I think it gave the offense a little bit more, more oomph. Like, okay, look, our defense is playing well. We got to pick it up now, y'all. But, yeah, I think that just changed, like, put the momentum more into our favor, and like let the Niners know, like, y'all not winning this game today. Because at that point in time, it was 10-0, and we still wasn't scoring. We was moving the ball a little bit, but we wasn't putting points up. So they, defense, broke it open. The defense was getting, San Fran like, okay, look, man, we holding this offense down. We just got to make a play or two here or there. But once that happened, it was 17-0, and you got CJ back there on a rainy day against our pass rush. It was just like, all right, look, man, we're done now. But yeah, Jalen Mills, man,
pin your ears back,
like you got to pass it
and really just give him hell.
Right,
like
he wasn't even in. After that, CJ wasn't even like some of the plays, man. It was a one play he broke out, could have ran for the first down, and Fletcher Cox was like coming towards him. He stopped and threw it across his body, try to hit the tight end. It was an incomplete pass. I'm like, oh man, they in his head. Yeah, so I'm like, you could have easily ran for the first down. Cause Fletcher Cox, big dude, but you can outrun him for them extra 5 yards. So I think, yeah, man, we just had CJ back there, man. He was like, look, I don't want to get hit no more. I'm done. But yeah, that was a turning point, man. The Mills pick 6, man, for me.
Yeah, man. Look, man, it get cold out there. It's raining. You've been getting hit all day. You was just like, hell with that.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Look, man, I can dig it, CJ, man. I can understand it, man. Turning point for me, man, block field goal. The block field goal made a big difference, man. It was multiple plays I could have pointed to. You know what I'm saying? Even when the Redskins was looking to be kind of trying to move, and the Cowboys went ahead and forced a fumble on Kirk Cousins. Man, that pass rush, man, has been crazy this year. But yeah, I definitely say the block field goal, man. The block field goal. Tyrone Crawford being able to get his hand on it. Skandrick being able to run that thing down, man. Which ended up leading the points, which ended up really help the Cowboys really just even more so putting when you put points up, it puts even more pressure on the other team.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So on the defense and offense, you know what I'm saying? Every play now has to count for the offense, and it's just like the Redskins already couldn't run the ball, and it was just like
your margin for error is like minimal.
Yeah, very minimal. Yeah. And it's just like it was just like now they really got to come out and throw, and you're throwing in 20-mile-an-hour wind in a bunch of rain. So, yeah, man, that block field goal for me really was like the turning point, man, for those guys. So, yeah, man, I think that definitely made that happen, man.
I think the play right before that, too, like when Kurt kind of overshot Pryor. Because, if they get that first down, they kind of had a little bit momentum going. They was moving the ball a little bit.
True.
But I just think, like, it's just something. I don't know what's up with Terrell Pryor out there, man. Like, he was getting all the hype. They compared him to Megatron when they was like, he looking like Megatron in practice. It just baffles me how bad he looks, man. Like, I don't know what it is.
Well, before the game, they said he admitted he had like a lot of off field things that was taking his focus off the game.
Well, that's understandable.
Yeah,
You just don't lose the talent that he
you
was showing last
definitely
year.
Right.
So something had to be up, man.
So
I'm like,
he came and said, like that's why he even got like benched during practice that week after they played y'all. It came out admitted like he had a lot of things off field distracting him, and he promised to to really get back to playing ball freely like how he usually do. Because I'm with you, bro. I was telling you like coming into the off season, like I think the Birds probably would be better suited signing Pryor, because I really like talent wise, man, he really still can be a monster in my estimation.
Because he's still new to the position for real.
Right. And he's big and he's fast, and he can catch. So but I think him coming, I guess whatever distraction he had, him and Kirk just didn't have that chemistry. It still don't. And at this point in the season, it's kind of late
now,
to be trying to develop it. Right. So I think he's almost guaranteed to be somewhere else. And I mean, Terrell, if you listening, you can come on to Dallas next year, man, for the low, sir.
For the low.
but yeah. So what I want to say, man. So what we doing? Who's up next? What we doing? Unpopular opinion.
Well, I want to touch on the big move we made too. You know what I mean? I want to touch on that. You know what I mean?
And then I kind of want to get into the Zeke thing too.
Right.
All right, cool. Go ahead.
Because like I said, forgot
all about that. That's
my 3 down was Blunt. You know what I mean? Like he just don't look the same how he looked early in the game, and we made a move to pour Jay Ajayi in for a 4th round pick. You know what I'm saying? Like it shocked me. I mean, I said we needed to bring a running back in. I didn't know we was gonna bring a running back of that caliber in. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, maybe we go ahead and get Frank Gore or something like that. You know what I mean? Like a dude that could just help with the pass blocking and just tote the rock a little bit.
DeMarco Murray.
Yeah, but he wouldn't want to come back here. He wouldn't want to come back here. But but when I was in the car, man, I'm driving my daughter to school, and the breaking news sound came on. I said, well, what's going on? He trade Jay Ajayi. I'm like, damn, what we trade? I'm like, damn, we probably gave up our 1st round pick or something next year. They like, yeah, for a 4th round pick. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, hold up. I'm like, wow. I'm like, man. But getting down to it, this is like a running back, that kind of fits our offense for real, because he can do a little bit of everything and do everything kind of pretty well. You know what I'm saying? He could catch the ball at the backfield. He did it at Boise State. He didn't do it much at Miami. They didn't use him like that. But if you watch him at Boise State, he did it. He can run. He can hit them holes that Blunt is like not getting to right now. You know what I'm saying? And he's still a physical runner like Blunt is, but he just 7 years younger. You know what I mean? And like I said, he's more explosive. His vision, like we touched on that before with Smallwood and Clement, not having the vision to see the holes and get to them properly. He can do all of that, man. Like he's easily the most complete running back on the roster right now. And going forward,
sure.
He's going to be that workhorse. So we got to see going forward, like, well, we really don't got to see because, they pretty much know that this guy's better than y'all, so he's going to be taking your snaps. But to get that, like, Howie Roseman, man, like, the trades he had done made over the last couple of months, bringing in Jernigan, for swapping a 3rd round pick with Baltimore, getting Darby to come here, even though he hasn't played, that much yet, but there's still the potential he possesses for a 3rd round pick, and getting a Pro Bowl running back for a 4th round pick. Like it's kind of like you're drafting these guys for real. Like you get a 24-year-old running back in the 4th round, that's a win. But you got a Pro Bowler, a legit Pro Bowler with a 4th round pick. So it's kind of like people are like, oh, we trading picks, but you're bringing in young talent. You know what I mean? Young talent that can play on the NFL level. Proven talent, you know what I'm saying? So, like, we don't know what them 4th round picks, because they showed the list of our 4th round picks over the last about 10 years. Oh, it's been terrible. But I think everybody's, like, looking for a reason to say, well, why do they do that? Sometimes teams just do dumb things, man. You know what I mean? And I wanted Gacy here, but he's starting to remind me of Chip Kelly a little bit, because he had these issues last year with the team, and he cut like 3 offensive linemen. They had to jumpstart the offense or whatever. This year, he felt the need. He got to shock the locker room. You trade your running back away. And from reports, it was like them two just wasn't getting along. Like, it just felt like a Deshaun Jackson, Chip Kelly thing going on, because they were just trying to, like, throw all things out. Oh, his knees is bad. They don't feel he's going to be good long term. But he passed the physical. So, his knee can't be that bad for real. You know what I mean? So it just seems like a lot going on down my. They had the coach a couple weeks ago that was snorting the drugs, sending it to the stripper. Like, this was a bunch of stuff going on down Miami that's just crazy to me. But he was kind of speaking on it today when he came up here. Like, he didn't, send any shots at Miami, but he was like, I'm here now. I just want to come in and put my head down and work hard and, help the team win and stuff like that. But credit to Howie Roseman, man, for pulling these moves off and getting this talent around your quarterback and on defense as well. But yeah, big move, man. I'm just excited to see what this guy can do, what he could bring into the offense going forward. Doug said he may not play a lot Sunday coming in because they got to get him up to speed with the terminologies and all that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because with a running back, you really, just see the hole, hit the hole, but. Pass protection, you kind of got to know what Wentz talking about out there and who you got to pick up and stuff like that. So you may see him a little bit Sunday versus Denver, but we got that bye week before we go ahead and play Dallas. So I think going forward, man, you're just going to see him take over that lead back role slowly but surely, man. But yeah, I'm ecstatic about that move, man.
Yeah, I think the move was a good move. I mean, I tweeted it too. I seen Eagles fans, I seen non-Eagles fans, I seen a little bit of everybody somewhat questioning the move, and and I mean, granted, I like the kid because I liked him in the draft. You know what I mean?
Right.
Jeff know I've been high on him, man.
You had him as one of your top running backs.
Yeah, one of my top running backs coming into this year. Because I really think the kid's talent is legit. I mean, I do know that in the draft he did drop because of the knee concerns. But I mean, I feel like he's playing. He's I don't know, however long it lasts. I mean, he can play. So,
Right.
I mean, that's what I do know. So, I definitely think it was a good move. I mean, to give up a 4th round pick and people trying to talk about draft picks, it's like, yo, you ain't going to catch a Dak Prescott in the 4th round every year.
Right.
So that, you can just play with that gamble if you want to. But if you got a guy that's 24, coming off a Pro Bowl year, and coming into a solid locker room, coming into a talented team with currently with a winning culture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not too many negatives to that. So it's like you can't knock a move like that when again, more importantly, I don't even think enough Eagles fans are looking at it from this perspective that everything else at the running back position coming to this year was like some kind of temporary question mark. So LeGarrette Blount wasn't getting signed past this year. You knew Darren Sproles had how many ever years he had left in the tank.
He's
Maybe
not
this
a league
was last
guy.
You this guy was probably going to play his last year this year anyway, which I think Sproles was announcing that he was probably going to retire this year.
He did, yep.
So with that being said, Smallwood didn't prove squat, so you didn't know if he was even a lead back or even could be a lead back because I was questioning that coming to this year.
We was too.
So on top of that, you get to go into next year's draft. And I know Eagles fans y'all 7-1, so y'all high and mighty right now. Y'all didn't even think about draft.
I'm always thinking about draft, though.
But right.
Yeah.
But because we love the draft part of the season. But it's like you get to go into the draft though, being in position where you be able to say, you know what, we can actually afford to take a luxury pick instead of saying, yo, we got to add one of these top running backs and we got to go running back for round 1 and 2. It's like, no, you get to really sit there and be like, yo, you know what? Hell with it. If we really love a linebacker and he's a game changer, Hicks may just have to move over and be a Pro Bowler at another position and we going to put this difference maker here in the middle. So it's like, that's the liberty you have when you're adding young talent at other positions. You know what I'm saying? So, young proven talent too on top of that. So it's not every day you get to get a proven running back, that at least showed you. And I know people say it was 1 year, but I really believe, man, he adds decent speed as a back, not necessarily a crazy fast running back, but he plays physical. He can move just enough, and again, I think he's a good running back. So, like I said, I like the move too.
And also, people saying that, people forget his rookie year, he was behind Lamar Miller. So Lamar Miller was the guy down there. So you know what I mean, he was a rookie. I mean, it's just kind of when we had Shady behind Westbrook, he didn't come right in and take over. Then he had his his Pro Bowl year last year, and this year you got to look. You lost your quarterback. You got Jay Cutler, Matt Moore playing. Teams are loading up to stop the run. And their offensive line has been, bad. Really, really bad. Even Pouncey not playing to his potential. So, teams stacking the box or game planning to take you out. There's only but so much you can do. I mean, he had 2 good games this year against the Chargers and against Atlanta when he kind of carried the offense a little bit. But, like I said, to get a young, proven, very good running back, I mean, you can't.
Ain't no downside to that, man.
None.
People gotta stop they damn crying on that. Period. That's just y'all gotta let that go. Because I'm trading a 4th round pick for anybody
proven.
Anybody that's proven that's 24
and
years
a Pro
old.
Bowler. Come on, dog.
That's just it's just to me it's just foolishness and nonsense. Especially when you 7-1 and you add a player like that, that potentially really, really, really can end up being a real difference maker in some of them games where you might need a difference maker that running back position.
You're gonna need that in January, December. Teams not gonna Now you can go ahead and put Blunt in the fourth quarter if you're up, or you can rotate them 2 guys in, and you got 2 physical guys in that cold weather. Like, teams not going to want to try. Well, they're going to have to, but it's going to be hard for them to want to come up and tackle them big boys. Michael Jenkins touched on that. He's like, just thank God I'm not on the opposite side of them. But yeah, man, like I said, this great move. And shout out to Howie Roseman, man, because he really put a good team together, man. You know what I mean? Him and the scouting staff and everybody.
Listen, you stop the crying people by just basically saying, would you rather have a Jai or would you rather get another Donnell Pumphrey next year in the fourth round?
Right.
That's just it. So yeah,
that's what they were saying. Oh, well, if he would have drafted a guy, that's what they were saying too. If he would have drafted a guy better,
he wouldn't have
had to trade. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? Really, bro? But yeah, man. But shout out to Howie, like I said, man.
Snores. Yeah. But, in the Zeke saga, man, so this week we found out, man, he gets suspended again, and there's another appeal, and I don't know. We'll see what happened with that. Truth be told, man, I'm honestly, tired of it. And the truth be told, man, though, it's as a fan, I'm tired, but as a man, I understand it. If my name and my reputation is at stake, especially if I feel and know that I'm innocent, and the league's language in that, potential lifetime banishment and all this kind of other nonsense, I'm not sitting there taking that either. So Zeke Elliott, fight your fight, do what you do. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know how long he may miss. I'll say this very quickly because I know we'll have to get into the later portion of our show very soon for time's sake. But I do believe that the Cowboys will still be able to, still can be able to find ways to win games without Zeke. One of the things this year we haven't really gotten a lot out of Zeke was a lot of the big plays that he might have made for us last year, where people was prone to ask questions. Did he lose a step? Is he out of shape? Is he this? Is he that? And don't get me wrong, he's been hot, the last few games. But I mean, we still watched Dak Prescott and that offense be able to still put up points even while the running game was struggling to really maintain leads and keep and control the clock. So I do think, with that offensive line, and I kept, they made my list for weeks in a row, my down list. But with that offensive line really coming into its own, playing at its elite level again, I do think with the guys like Alfred Morris, McFadden, if he gets out there, but I really like the kid Rod Smith as well, I think that they'll be able to be a competent run game, period. You know what I'm saying? And I think that they'll move the chains. One area you may miss Zeke at is that red zone, because Zeke can run for a 20-yard touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Now I think Morris would be a cool hammer back if he got to get it in from the 3, but you ain't gonna catch them 20-yard runs that Zeke can give you. Right. That's where I think they can miss Zeke at. But I think with Dak's running ability, having Witten there, and having one of the best red zone wide receivers like Dak. I mean, Dez might not be the big play electric type of wide receiver he may have used to be, but in that red zone, you ain't got too many players do it like Dez in the red zone. So he scores. So I think that, they'll have to lean on that more so, to get in that end zone. And Dak has been proven to be really, honestly, one of the better quarterbacks in the red zone this year and even last. But I think that they'll be able to still run the ball. I think their attitudes have been crazy. Rod Smith and those guys said, and Zach Martin came out and said, we going to run the same plays. Zeke ain't here. We going to run the same offense. And Rod said, we going to do the same thing. We going to go out to dominate, and we going to keep the seat hot for when he gets back. So, I mean, I don't know. I like the energy. I like the confidence in the team. And me and Jeff, man, we had an amazing conversation, man, the day before. Just really was talking about a lot of this stuff, man. It was it would have been a dope show in its own right. But I mean, I do think outside of really the Birds, and outside of this Chiefs game and whatnot, the Cowboys don't really have too many formidable teams that they really got to go up against. You know what I'm saying? When you watching teams like the Falcons and the Raiders and the Redskins and the Giants, these are teams that, they can still win these games. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, they still can win the games against the Birds or the Chiefs. But I mean, because it's the NFL. But at the same time, I'm just saying, as far as pure teams that are truly have been showing to be consistently good this season, it's those are two teams. Well, the Seahawks later on, but it's and I think Zeke will be back by then. But those are the two teams in this stretch that they really have to face that have really, really been consistently good, where you have to really be wow, can they beat them without Zeke? I don't know. But, so that's just my take on that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what they're going to do with the Zeke situation. So I don't even want to speculate and speak on it. I don't know if he's going to miss games. I don't know what the deal is.
It's crazy because you even see it. What they put out them, the ground nominees? He wasn't even he wasn't even a candidate. It was Shady, Alex Collins and another running back. And I'm like, damn, Zeke had like 150. You ain't put him up there. So you see kind of how they throwing the shade at him and all that. So I can, like I said, if I know I didn't do something, I would want to fight too. So like I said, I don't know. Like I said before, I wasn't there. I don't know, but it's just like you fighting this hard, going this long. I mean,
he have to feel strong. He has to. That's what I'm saying. He has to feel strong, and not to mention, I think what's also egregious is how much the evidence points the other way. Because it's like if the NFL leads investigator, the chick that they ignored, who said, "Yo, all right, I talked to the witness." And I recommend this guy don't get suspended. Like, this girl's full of crap. That's pretty much, and she's a woman too, mind you. And she was a lead investigator. So if she's saying that, you got two other, like, criminal investigators that declared the same thing and they dropped charges. The NFL clearly did this as a public relations move. And what it really comes down to, again, the NFL has the jurisdiction based upon a collective bargaining agreement. So, I mean, I think later on in the district court, whenever they go to federal court, the NFL Players Association is fighting the rule where its fundamental fairness is in. So it's like, was it fair? Was the process fair? And that's what they're going to contend, because we know the rule clearly states that Goodell has power to do what he wants to do and impose suspension. But they fighting, this wasn't really fair, though, because if you ignored your own investigator and really wasn't even going to include her testimony in, and that's where it's like, three other judges sided with Zeke on that. Like, yo, that's wild that y'all didn't include your investigator. So that's stuff they got to handle later. But, I at the same time, I think that's another thing, too, that's just, like, making it really look bad on the NFL. But, I mean, I don't know.
Man,
like,
when they come to this collective bargaining, the union got to get this together.
It's gonna be a strike. It's gonna be a strike.
They gotta get this to right, man. Because
I'm gonna be honest though, bro, and not because we got to jump off this anyway. But I honestly believe that this next collective bargaining agreement, I think that the NFL honestly may pass the buck on that. Because the reason why, if you think about it, it all makes sense. Because the league then does not have to handle the Ray Rice situation.
Right, they don't want to do it anyway.
Right, because it's like, yo, now it's in our lap. But if it's legally out of our lap, we more so, if somebody says, well, what happened with this? And they're like, yo, the court of law didn't press charges. We can't impose something on a man who was cleared of all, wrongdoing. So what do y'all want us to do? Because I don't think any other employers is pressed that way. It's like, yo, if you were cleared of charges, how can you sit here and be suspended for something that the court says you didn't do? You know what I'm saying? So that's the crazy part about it. So I really believe, and Jerry Jones alluded to it. He said, if that Ray Rice situation didn't happen, you wouldn't see the league really trying to screw this guy over. And it's like, yo, to give him 6 games and like some lifetime bans and all of that, like he's just been like this habitual, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand why he's fighting. Again, yeah, man, that's that, man. But unpopular opinion, Jeff.
I think going forward, I think Smallwood going to be a healthy scratch going forward, because with Ajayi coming in, he could kind of provide, similar things, catching out the backfield.
So Clement,
he
going to stay out there?
He's on coverage teams, on special teams.
Okay.
So he suits up for that. And Barner is the punt returner, and Blunt is, right now, as Doug said, he's the starter. So I think going forward, because you even seen last week, you didn't see Smallwood a lot last week. He didn't play a lot last week. And like I said, I don't know if the staff can just trust him because he's always had these injuries. But I think he's going to be the odd man out. I mean, it should be anyway. But I just think coming into the year, people was like, yo, he's going to be our lead back. We're going to see what we got in him. And he just disappointed, man. Like, he had his opportunities to prove he can be that guy. So we didn't have to go out and get, Ajayi. But, I think he's going to be a healthy scratch going forward, man, for the stretch.
I think that's pretty sound. I think that's a pretty sound point, man. Definitely sound point. My unpopular opinion, because I don't see the guy get enough credit. I spoke to you about him yesterday. Byron Jones, man. I really believe Byron Jones is having a really good season. And of course, like, even when we start mentioning top safeties and many guys that really don't watch games, really don't know nothing about football, literally don't give this guy enough credit because they think first rounder, and they look at other safeties and they're like, oh, these guys are getting all these turnovers. Like, the Cowboys defense, period, is coached to bend, not break. It's not even coached to get turnovers, if we really being honest. You got your corners playing 8 yards off 7 yards off the ball, 6 yards off the ball. So they read and reacting, just tackling, boom, and that's done. So you can't even be like, yo, these guys don't get turnovers. Because when you look at Morris Claiborne and Brandon Carr, they're on over to rosters now getting turnovers. See what I'm saying? So it's how you're being coached. But when you look at the games, and you look at how much the Cowboys are moving Byron Jones around from the safety position to playing the slot to he was even lining up at linebacker at points last week in last week's game and the week before that. This dude is a chess piece, man. And, again, if he's not playing on such a high-profile team, they would give him way more homage for what he's doing out there. You would hear more teams talking about, the versatility of this guy. He's really standing out because he does so much. He's all over the field. Again, Byron Jones is having a really good season. And I watch silly Cowboys fans. I mean, he just finally – that was like a gift at the end of the game for him because, I think it was like reward for his play because he's been playing good football. The pick six he had. But at the same time, again, this kid literally – is doing everything that's asked of him. Not to mention he has like merry-go-round going on out there in the secondary earlier on in the season where, 1 minute Joe Lewis was hurt and Cheeto was hurt. And then you got Skandrick out with the broken hand. You know what I'm saying? So he was literally watching all these different corners and had Nolan Carroll in the secondary the first game or so. And then he got Jeff Heath on the side of him. So it's a lot he has to compensate for or even think about, out there on the football field. And I don't think people understand how much sound football he's actually playing. Will he miss a tackle? That happens to everybody. He may miss a tackle here or there, or somebody even may get open, at one point in the game. But you just talking about all around solid games, man. Like he's been one of the most consistent players on that defense, man. And so much is asked. More is asked of him on that defense probably than anybody else, maybe except Sean Lee. You know what I'm saying? So that's my unpopular opinion right there, man, with Byron Jones, man. So shout out to Byron Jones, man.
Yeah, I like Byron, man. I still just think though he could be a crazy corner, man, if y'all was to move him to corner. But like y'all said, y'all safety situation.
Who else is going to
right?
Say, right. That's my thing.
Right.
I like Xavier Woods. Now the only thing I could say they potentially could do, to your point, is if they ended up deciding to move Cheeto, who has ability to play safety as well. So if he moves to free safety and you got Xavier Woods out there as your strong, then I think you can definitely put Byron Jones because like you said, I mean he could be a dynamic outside corner too because he's big and physical and he's fast. You know what I'm saying? And he athletics, like super athletic. So you definitely can put him on one of your big receivers. And you got Jordan Lewis out there, but. I mean, that's what I think is good about that draft class period, though. They got a lot of versatility.
Right.
So because even Xavier Woods has been playing in the slot. They've been playing him more in the slot. They've been playing him at safety, which is crazy because have Jeff Heath off the field. Goodness,
no, keep him out there, man, for week 11, man.
Nah,
keep him out there.
Get him out of there.
Like a bench him after that. Bench him
after that. Yeah. So where we at, man? Is we doing
next opponent?
Next opponent.
Opponent, yeah, man. We got the Denver Broncos, man. You know what I'm saying?
Brock Osweiler back.
Yeah. I don't know because I'm not scared because Brock Osweiler, but I think he gives them a better chance to win. You know what I'm saying? I think Simeon was too scared back there, and I think Brock, he was with this team before, he's more comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I just think he's more of a threat than Simeon would have been. I would like them to have Simeon out there, but offensively, they got good wide receivers. You know what I mean? They got Sanders. They got Thomas.
Sanders is coming back.
He's coming back this week. So, you know what I mean? So we don't know if he'll be fully 100%, but he's still having them out there be something to watch out for. They got C.J. Anderson. And the offensive line is not the greatest, but they're solid. You know what I'm saying? But, we got to try to, do what we always do, to stop the run and just try to force Brock to some turnovers, which I think we will do. And defensively though, man, it's that's gonna be the matchup to look out for because they get after the passer crazy. They stop the run. They play press man all game, just beat us, and it's difficult. So
the pass blocking and all
you know what I mean. So I don't know. Even if Von Miller's on Lane Johnson, that's still a threat. You know what I'm saying? Because Lane is one of the best tackles in the league, but that's still Von Miller. You know what I'm saying? Because Lane even pointed to it. He said he might be the best player we're going to play all year, Von Miller. So he was like, the way he bends, his speed, the power, everything. So that's just something to keep an eye out for.
You better respect DeMarcus Lawrence.
Man, please. Man, please. Man, I hate tarnishing. We troll free, man. I think you about to say JJ or you said DeMarcus. But yeah, man.
Listen, that was a joke, y'all, before y'all go overreact.
They gonna hit you up on Twitter crazy. Where were you tripping? Yeah. But no, man, there's just something. You got Shane Ray. You even got Wolf in the middle. They got some great linebackers, Marshall, and you got the secondary. You know what I'm saying? Chris Harris, one of the best corners. maybe the best corner. You know, got Talib still balling, Roby. So they can match up with us, but I think it's going to be like a Zach Ertz game because they do have trouble covering the tight end. So I think we're going to just have to commit to the run. This is how we was last week. We wasn't getting nothing, but Doug stayed with it and just kept, just keep with it, moving the clock. And I just got, Wentz making 1 to 2 more plays than I got Brock making. Because it's going to be a defensive struggle. I got it like on some 14-10, 13-10 type game. Because I don't think it's going to be a lot of points scored because both of his defense are playing great football right now.
Nasty defense.
And like I said, we get after the quarterback and we stop the run as well. Our our safeties are better, but our corners are still, even though Mills and them is playing well, we may get tested a little bit, this week because Brock could throw the pill a little bit. But I think it's going to be a close game. Like I said, defensive struggle. But like I said, I got Wentz making like 2 to 3 more plays than I got Brock making. So I got us 13-10, 14-10, pulling it out, eking it out. Should be a great game though, man, because I kind of want to see. This is what you want to. You want to see a young quarterback go against these type of defenses and see how they, turn out. Like we go up Seattle later on in the year. I just want to see how Wentz,
and y'all
playing.
Home, right?
Yeah, we home. Yep.
Oh yeah, well
that
helps too.
Cause I think we was like a 7-point favorite opening up. I don't know if the line changed since they made Brock the starter, but we was like a 7-8 point favorite coming into the game. So
playing at Mile High is a pain in the butt, man.
Yeah, it's different.
I mean, it's that air and everything.
Yeah,
else, the
it's different.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's definitely good to get a home game against them because they're not really that good away from home either. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely favorable matchup. Cowboys got the Chiefs. I know that many people, quite a few people are high coming to the year. Even as they were 5-0.
Respect Alex Smith, man. Man, respect.
Listen, I'm not a buyer of Alex Smith at all. I'm sorry. And even in the last few weeks, man, he just hasn't really been hitting on those big plays as he was earlier in the year. So I'm really starting to. I really think this second half, man, Alex Smith coming back down to earth. That's one of my opinions. And I picked the Chiefs to lose a couple times this year. And in fact, even when they were like 4-0, 5-0, people were like they're the best team in football. I told people confidently they're not better than the Pats. They're not better than the Steelers. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. They beat the Pats first game. Don't care. Don't matter. Later in the year, again, man, it's going to come down to great quarterback play. And Ben and Tom has proven and shown me that they can still be sustained. Their play can be sustained over a period of time. I'm not a buyer of Alex Smith. One thing I will say, though, is that, the Chiefs still got a great running game. They got a great weapon in Tyreek Hill, man, whatever you want to call that guy, receiver, running back, kick returner, whatever. He's like Dante Hall with hands. Kelsey's a beast. So definitely going to be pretty good to match up with the Cowboys. But the one thing I'll say is that the Chiefs defensively, man, they give up yards and they give up points.
Yeah, so, they've been bad this year.
The defense, and it's crazy dynamic because, I guess he missed Eric Berry, but it's like you would think, man, like with the corner that they have, they got a stud like on almost every level, but for some reason, why is a unit they're just not that good? You know what I'm saying? So like they can be beat. The defense of Kansas City can be beat. And I do like the Cowboys' defensive line matchup against the Chiefs. But I do think it's going to be a high-scoring game. It's going to come down to late in the game, whichever quarterback, I guess, has the opportunity to make a play. Kind of like how I felt about Green Bay game. You know what I'm saying? Whoever potentially may have that ball last. Except the difference is it's like I definitely don't see Alex Smith like you give him a minute, he's going to beat you like an Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
I'm not buying him for that. But I will say, I believe it's going to be a high-scoring game, really good game. And I don't know. I guess I'll give a score on it like as we run down the scores. But that's kind of like my analysis on the upcoming opponent for the Chiefs. So let's look at it like this, man. Let's run these picks down, Jeff. Bills at the Jets.
Bills, man, just brought in Kelvin Benjamin. It's crazy because they started off the year like they was rebuilding, but they've been playing good ball, so they just went ahead and added a weapon for Tyron. But yeah, I like what they're doing, man. Shout out to McDermott too.
I don't really like to pick up a Kelvin. I'm going to be honest. I mean, I understand they probably was trying to make moves or something, but like they got wide receivers that's struggling to separate, and you bring Kelvin Benjamin in there, like, what is he about to do? Who is he about to separate from? And I'm going to be honest. I'm very leery of bringing in wide receivers at the end of seasons or something like that. Unless you bring in some kind of outside guy who can just get open downfield, where like you want to design or call plays, like, yo, do what you do, get downfield, get open. Because outside of that, it's like, yo, you got to get timing, like with these slower guys who run certain specific routes, you got to build chemistry and time and get them in the offense. So I'm not a big fan of that. I'm actually going to take the Jets for the upset. I think the Jets is Thursday game. And them short weeks is always tough for teams.
Divisional game.
Yeah, divisional game.
And they've been in every game they've been playing.
Every single game, man. And that is a tough, like, again, man, I think that's a prideful bunch. They've been playing with pride. McCown has actually have been putting up some solid games. I think that the Jets are going to pull it off, man. Colts at the Texans.
Texans, man.
Texans Colts over here as well.
Yeah, Colts, I don't know what's up with them.
Man. Man, pray for their fans.
Yeah.
Bengals at the Jags.
I'm going to go with the Jags. That defense is, vicious. I'm going to go with them. Blake Bortles is Blake Bortles, but that defense, I think, can mask for him. And also, they just added Darius, so
yeah,
crazy.
Man, that's definitely crazy. I think, though, I'm going to actually take the Bengals. I'm going to take the Bengals in that game. Don't even ask me why. I just think the Bengals win, though. I think the Bengals defensively are playing good ball, too.
They are.
And I think that they'll make Blake Bortles make a few mistakes that's going to end up having them, to be able to get a little lead. Not saying they're going to dominate them, but, I don't like Bortles having to come back. So, Buccaneers at the Saints.
I'm going to go with the Saints, man. They playing great ball. They one of the hottest teams in the league, and nobody really giving them credit right now. But I think I'm going to go with the Saints.
I'm going with the Saints too, and arguably, man, they definitely are one of the most solid football teams out there. Period.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, don't get me wrong, rightfully so, giving the Birds credit, but the Saints complete.
They right there.
Yeah, the Saints are complete.
They right there.
They the defense has finally put it together. Not to mention they're running the ball. And Ingram has been taken off since Peterson's been out of that mix. And
got Hall of Fame quarterback.
And they haven't even had to rely on a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Right.
So he's been managing the games perfectly, and they're doing their thing. So the Saints are dangerous, man. They got that division on lock.
Oh yeah.
But Rams at the Giants.
We'll go to the Rams. Yeah, Giants. They just suspended, Jenkins for something. It's a crazy year at NY, man. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Rams on that one.
Man, believe it or not, I actually like the Giants this week. Yeah, I like the Giants this week. Sterling Shepard back. They had to coming off the bye. You know what I'm saying? Got to rest up a bit. And Eli Manning is pretty good too, coming off the bye. You know, so I definitely think that the Giants. I think defensively, man. Even without Jenkins there, the Rams don't have no wide receivers.
True.
So I think that they have the pass rush. Giants have the pass rush to really disrupt them. Kind of like how they beat Denver. You know what I'm saying? I think they got the pass rush to disrupt. And Goff is like a guy that got to get in rhythm.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Especially in that offense. So it's kind of like the Cowboys when they played the Broncos. They allowed Simeon to get in rhythm. You're just supposed to jam those guys and go after those little QBs. But I like Goff's talent, but I still think earlier at this point in his career, he still need to get in rhythm.
Right.
And I think that the Giants going to disrupt that rhythm. So I like the Giants at home, man. Falcons at Panthers.
Tough one, man.
That's
tough. I'm going to go with the home team, man. I'm just going to go with the Panthers, man.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I for the same reason. I like them at home. Falcons ain't been. I ain't been looking good in the dome. They definitely ain't been looking good out the dome. And the Panthers defense still been playing solid. I think. People just aren't scared of the Falcons right now. They're not scared of Falcons offense. I think they miss Shanahan, and
it's showing.
The Panthers will win it, and I think that the Panthers. I think they kind of really want. I think they want it more right now than the Falcons do, to be honest with you. So give me the Panthers too at home. I'm with you. Bronco. Well, no, we'll do that later. Ravens at the Titans.
Another tough one, but they coming off that smacking. And I think Flacco back. Collins, they finally got somebody to rely on in the run game. I'm going to go with Baltimore.
I'm with you. I like Baltimore for the upset, too. Titans are a big disappointment for me this year.
Another team,
very disappointing. Defense is leaky. Defense just ain't playing ball. And I think Mariota's going to have fits out there because, that Ravens defense is still a prideful bunch, man.
Oh, yeah.
And they're tough.
And they playing great ball.
Secondary's playing hell of a year. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm with you. I'm taking Ravens. Cardinals at the Niners.
I'm going to go with the Cardinals because they said they're not going to play Jimmy G. They said that he might not play this year, so they really trying to go for that number one pick. But I'm going to go with the Cardinals.
They smart, man. They smart for that. I'm going with the Cardinals too. And truth be told, think about it. It's not even that you're just going for it, but you want to protect your investment,
right?
You ain't blocking for the quarterback, and the team. This team ain't worth him coming out here right now anyway, putting it all together. So he could just learn the offense right now. You know what I'm saying? Master the offense, learn the offense, or if anything, you might put him in the last 2 games or something.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then just rock out. out. You know, so I'm with you there though, and give me the Cardinals too as well, man.
Yep.
I think Adrian Peterson has a big day.
Oh, yeah.
Redskins at the Seahawks.
Yeah, the Skins, man. They just two tough divisional games back to back. They not going up Seattle and yeah. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go with Seattle, man. And they offense clicking too. Seattle. They got Dwayne Brown now, so it's helping them out a little bit on the line, help Russ a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Seattle, man.
True that. I'm gonna be honest. I think if any game this week where a team really could get caught slipping, I think it is the Seahawks. But I'm gonna take the Seahawks. But I do think that, you know, you just like for the reasons you said though, like, you know, coming off these two divisional games, the fact that they still set a few guys, you know, against Dallas, so they get some of them linemen back this week. Not to mention, you know, the corners will be back. You know what I'm saying? Breland and what's the name should be playing. I think the matchup is a little bit there. Now, what I am scared of is, like, you know, can they really throw on them guys? But then again, Deshaun Watson just went off. So, you know, I mean, Kirk Cousins can throw the ball, man. I don't care what people say. The dude can play football. So I do think, man, if a team could get slipping, man, it's probably Seahawks for me. But I'm taking Seattle because they home, that 12th man. And, you know, like you said, the offense clicking. But I definitely think that's a dangerous game for them. Okay, Raiders at Dolphins.
I'm gonna go with the Raiders, man, because like I said, it's a mess down Miami, man. I'm gonna go with the Raiders.
It certainly is a mess in Miami, man.
Chip Jr., man, that's what Gacy looking like.
I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm scared really to pick this game. I just really don't know, because I think that, you know, as much as I want to say Raiders, I think like the Dolphins, they show up and like end up like shutting down the offense, and they prove they can. But yeah, I'm gonna go Raiders too with you, man. You know, I had high hopes for those guys, and I don't know what they're doing, man. They letting me down. Defensively, they can't stop nobody neither, so that's the scary part. I think Cutler's coming back too, so I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
Yeah, right.
But whatever. Lions at the Packers.
I'm gonna go with the Lions.
Lions.
Go with them. Yep.
Yeah, I like the Lions too, but the Packers coming off a bye. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I think Hundley got an extra weekend, but I do like the Lions, because I think the Lions is the same reason why I said Carolina. I think the Lions kind of want it more right now. I think the Lions really like, yo, our playoff. Any kind of hopes right now is like hinging.
Yeah, we need this win.
Yeah, they need a win right now. They need one. All right, so now back to the two final games of ours, which are represent our teams. You said Broncos, Eagles. You said you like the Eagles
13-10, 14-10. Yeah.
All right, yeah. I actually think I like the Birds, and I think it's going to be more like 20-13 for me. Okay. I like the Birds, and I think it's like 20-13. I think they may cover that 7. But, you know, so I like the Birds for like 20-13. I think that, you know, maybe even a defensive touchdown or something. You know what I mean? Like a struggle, but, you know, like, you know, they'll end up breaking, you know, could be winning like 13-10, and I think that they may even get a defensive touchdown, or, you know, the defensive touchdown might lead to the 13-10. Right. But they'll get one offensive touchdown or so. But it will be interesting to see them playing like, you know, a physical defense that match up well. Cowboys and Chiefs. Winner, score.
I'm going to go with KC, man. Like I said, I just think, and also a thing I don't think you touched on, Andy Reid, man. Coaching good, still one of the greatest coaches of, you know, his era. I'll go with KC 34-28. I'm going to go. Okay. I think it's going to be a high scoring game though, because like both defenses can give up some points, and like I said, I just think I got their defense for making like one more play than Dallas defense. But yeah, I think it's going to be a high scoring game though. 34-28. I'll go KC.
Okay, I mean that's fair. It's fair to say. I'm gonna take the Cowboys. And I mean, many people are like, yeah, of course he was, but I'm gonna take the Cowboys, and I'm gonna take the Cowboys, you know, 34-30, or maybe 34-31, but 34-30. I'll call it 34-30. And that's probably even with the Chiefs being up like 30-27, and the Cowboys probably score late to go up 34-30. But I really believe that, I don't know, I think that offense and I think that team in general, in spite of the Zeke mess, you know, I think that they want to show people like, yo, we're really hitting our stride, and we're really going to be able to win a game in spite of the fact that the league is trying to. I think they want to send a message to the league. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to hinge on the defense too, like you said, making a stop. And I definitely think, you know, the defense is gaining some swagger, you know, over the last couple of weeks, feeling like they're coming to their own too. So I think they want to prove themselves as well. And I think that this might be the game. This is a perfect game for them to, you know, okay, you mustered a couple wins back to back. Now here's a good team that people consider to be good and probably not give you a shot at winning. So I got the same thing like you said, a high scoring, but I think that this game is probably a lot more critical to the Cowboys at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Which is why I think that Dallas might sit here and try to make a statement game for themselves.
I think this game, this could be like the turning point of y'all season a little bit. Like if y'all pull this out
True that.
without Zeke, you could just get that confidence.
Some
Like, oh
momentum,
man,
right.
we beat one of the best teams in the league.
True
without our best player. We can go on a run or something like that.
True that.
So you know what I mean. So even if y'all lose like close it still can be.
We hung in there. We can ball, right? So, we can ball with majority of our schedule,
right? So it's up to Garrett and them to have these dudes ready and prepared. You know what I'm saying?
True
like
that.
You know what I mean? Like if something happened, there's always them games if something happened early where y'all hang y'all head. Like say if y'all get a turnover early or one of them special teams plays or something like that. I just want to see how y'all respond without Zeke. You know what I mean? Because everybody been saying, "Oh man, it's all about Zeke." So we finally get a chance to see. You know what I mean? What it's going to look like.
Good point. Really good point. And I mean, even when people say that, it's like you still go back in the beginning of the season and look, and it's like, yo, they still were doing them. But I do think to your point, bro, and like you said, I think one of the interesting things that the Chiefs are going to do is say we're going to stack this box. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that they may feel like they have the corners to kind of match up. You know what I'm saying? Even though they really only got one good corner. Terrence Mitchell is really like he's a bum. But at the same time, I feel like they maybe can shadow Dez, stack the box, and probably try to see if the Cowboys. The key with the Cowboys is going to stand committed to the run.
Yeah, yep.
Because I think that even if they kind of slow you down in the beginning, you can't panic. Don't panic. The key is not to panic. I think if they hammer that ball still and they do it like Zach Martin said, run them same plays and keep it balanced, I still think the Cowboys will be fine. Like you said, that could really be, and that's why, like I said, I think that I got the Cowboys just edging them out in the high scoring game because I think that the Packers game represented that too, and they really could have used that. But Rodgers get the ball with a minute left, and it just was like, right. Yeah. So I'm with you there, bro. I'm with you.
Yeah. Well, y'all, that'll do it. Another one in the books, man.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, like always, get at us, man. Like y'all, I mean, people be saying, yeah, we listen. Well, you know what I mean? Let us know. You know what I'm saying? Like, we down to debate this stuff, man. You know what
let's talk about the show, man. We don't want to talk. We don't want to talk everything else, man. Y'all can keep the trolling for your other followers and friends on there. We want to talk about what we're talking about now. So discuss it, check it out, man. Thank y'all for listening to us, man.
Yep.
Keep adding us on in more states, man. It's all love, man.
We're trying to get in all 50, man. We're trying to get in all 50.
All 50, man. All 50 states, man. So definitely give us your opinion. Let us know, man. Shout out to Jeff, man. Just pleasure, man, doing the show with my brother, man, and just consistently dropping everything that he's dropping and bringing to the table, man.
Shout out to them Eagles, man. 7-1. You know what I mean? Shout out to them first and foremost. You know what I mean? For making this a good season. Kind of feel like it's part. I mean, since we did this show, man. You know what I mean? It turned around. So I mean, I feel like I got part of that. But
so I'm officially stepping down after this week, man.
But yeah, man, get at us on Twitter, man. PhillyFreck215, man. Like I said, let us know what you think, what you disagree with, something we may have missed. You know what I mean? Just let us know. You know what I mean?
Yo, man, Pastor Carl Day. Carl with a C. Last name Day, like day of the week, DAY. So, follow me on there, man. Get at us. Follow Troll Free Sports, man, on Twitter as well, man, and on Instagram. And, that's what we got for y'all, man. So another great episode of the books, man.
See y'all next week. We out, man.
For sure, man. Peace, y'all.